Hello, my name is Chelsea Merricks and I'm really excited that you decided to join me on today's video. I'm here on behalf of Community Works who have decided to continue student enrichment through virtual learning. I am a third grade social studies teacher who understands the importance of giving students opportunities to explore the different parts of social studies. The part we will be exploring today is geography. We are going to take a closer look at the geographical features of the state that we live in, which is Louisiana. A geographical feature is a feature that is naturally made by the earth that can be found in a particular place. Things like rivers, mountains, hills are all examples of geographical features. Here is an example of the map we are going to create today that is going to highlight just some of the geographical features that can be found here in Louisiana. Before we get started, let's review some of the materials that you will need to complete this project. The first thing you are going to need is one sheet of construction paper, some different color markers, and a writing utensil. It can be a pencil or a pen, it's up to you. Once you have all of your materials, let's begin. Before we can highlight some of the different geographical features, we first need to draw an outline of Louisiana. I am going to insert a picture of Louisiana, take a couple of seconds to review it, and then on your sheet of construction paper, you are going to draw a picture of Louisiana. After you've drawn or traced your picture of Louisiana, it should look something like this on your sheet of paper. Because we're making a map, the first thing we are going to do is title our map. So our map is going to show Louisiana's geographical features, so that is exactly what we're going to title our map. So take a marker and write your title at the top of your map. After you write the title of your map, it should look like this: Louisiana's geographical features. The first geographical feature we are going to start with is Louisiana's highest point, which can be found up north at the top of Louisiana, and it is called Driscoll Mountain. This is the highest point in all of Louisiana. So at the top of your map, about here in the middle, draw a triangle and you are going to write Driscoll Mountain. After you draw that feature, it should look something like this. Now we are going to take a look at the different bodies of water that Louisiana has. We're going to first start with the body of water that forms the border between Louisiana and Mississippi. That is going to be the Mississippi River. So on the eastern side of Louisiana, which is here, you are going to draw the Mississippi River, and it flows through the city of New Orleans out to its mouth here at the bottom. So take some time to draw that. Okay, after you draw the Mississippi River, it should look like this. Now take some time to label that feature. And after you label it, it should look like this. The next feature we are going to draw is the river that forms the border on the western side of Louisiana, and it forms the border between Texas and Louisiana. That body of water is called the Sabine River. So with your marker, go ahead and label that body of water. And it should look like this. And if you notice, there are two rivers that form the boundaries on each side of Louisiana. So go ahead and label the Sabine River. And after you do that, it should look like this. The next body of water that we're going to draw is going to be the Red River. The Red River starts at the western part of Louisiana at the top, and it flows through the middle below Driscoll Mountain. So go ahead and label that. And it stops just about midway through Louisiana. So go ahead and label the Red River. The next body of water we are going to label is going to be the Wichita River. And then after you draw that, it should look like this. And that is spelled Ouachita River. Now that we've labeled most of Louisiana's rivers, we're now going to move into labeling Lake Pontchartrain. If you look at your map, in this space here, that is where you can find Lake Pontchartrain. So go ahead and label Lake Pontchartrain. And just to show you how I labeled that, it looks like this. I drew a circle and then a line up to the label. The next geographical feature we are going to label is going to be the mouth of the Mississippi River. The mouth of the river is simply a point at the end of a river in which the river opens into a larger body of water. So on your map, go to where the Mississippi River ends and draw a square. And after you draw your square, it should look like this. Here. And go ahead and write mouth of the Mississippi River. And then after you label it, it should look like this. Now remember, the mouth of the river is where a river opens up into a larger body of water. So we are going to label the body of water that can be found south of Louisiana, which is the Gulf of Mexico. And after you label the Gulf of Mexico, it should look like this. Let's review the different geographical features that we labeled. We first labeled Driscoll Mountain, which is again the highest elevation that you can find in Louisiana. Next, we labeled the Mississippi River, which again forms the border between Louisiana and the state of Mississippi on the eastern side. On the western side, we labeled the Sabine River, which forms the border between the state of Texas and Louisiana. We then labeled rivers that can be found in Louisiana, which is the Red River, Chautauqua River. We identified where the Mississippi River ends and labeled it the mouth of the Mississippi River. And finally, we identified the body of water that can be found below Louisiana, which is the Gulf of Mexico. After you complete your map should look like this, with the title of it and all of your geographical features labeled. So to reflect on today's project, I am going to ask you two questions that I want you to think about first and then be able to answer. The first question is, before we got started on our map, we first looked at a picture of Louisiana and then tried to draw it from memory. So the first question is, why do you think it's important to be able to draw the state you live in from memory? The next question I want you to think about is, we can see that Louisiana has lots of geographical features. We only listed a few, and a lot of them are bodies of water. So, why do you think Louisiana's geographical features are important to Louisiana? Does Louisiana benefit from these geographical features? And if so, in what ways? Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. I hope that you did learn something, and please be sure to join me on the next one. Bye!